Wedged between two award-winning series like a mouth-watering audio electronics beef patty and a supremely tasty Audiolab branded burger rests one hell of a range, 7,000. And the following three-part feature aims to give you a better understanding of the very listener this series is intended for, the thought process behind certain features and technologies that aim to better serve that listener, a listener that might very well be you. Now, this was not originally designed as a series, but a 30-minute YouTube video seemed a little extreme. So the intros and outros have been reshot. It's been broken into 3 individual videos to be released over 3 weeks, each serving as a tasty introduction into Audiolab's all-new and critically acclaimed 7000 series. So kick back, relax, and as Cheap Audio Man would say,
grab a cup of coffee,
and let's dive into the first of our 3 features, Audiolab 7000A. 7000A is a 2x70 watt into 8 ohm Class AB integrated amplifier featuring 5 analog and 6 digital inputs, 2 audio outs, 1 inbuilt headphone amplifier, phono stage, and Bluetooth with aptX and aptX LL. Those analog inputs include 3 by RCA auxiliary, 1 power amplifier, 1 moving magnet phono stage. The digital inputs include 2 by optical and coaxial apiece, 1 PC USB, and drumroll please, 1 HDMI ARC. That's right, HDMI's audio return channel gets a feature in Audiolab's all-new 7000 series integrated, and it's a much welcome inclusion. It's using an ES9038 Q2M reference DAC, of which Audiolab is pretty renowned for its ESS DAC integration, to offer up an incredible 192 kHz through both optical and coaxial inputs, a mind-splitting 768 kHz via its PC USB connection, and a whopping DSD512. The unit itself measures 78 by 444 by 340 millimeters, which is almost the exact dimensions of the components in both 6000 and 9000 series, so mixing, matching between series won't mess with your aesthetics. It weighs in at 8.4 kilograms and comes available in Audiolab's tried and tested silver and matte black aluminum finishes. Oh, and its 2.8-inch full-view IPS LCD color display elegantly exhibits source information, input selections, operational modes, and VU meters. If 6000A is an entry-level integrated amplifier for either the price-conscious or those new to hi-fi, let it be known that the 7000A is your first foray into audiophile territory. Its power, its switchable mode functionality, and its funky little digital input called HDMI ARC, they're all designed with serious listeners in mind. As for its sound quality, well, that's going to be something for the reviewers to determine. And we'll link you to the latest 7000A review from Andrew Robinson both above and in the description below. We're not reviewers here, we are retailers, which implies bias. However, that doesn't mean that we can't bang on about 7000A's key features, its horsepower, its power and integrated modes, and the introduction of HDMI ARC. And why, as someone considering a serious step up in terms of their amplifier, might be inclined to consider the 7000A. So, without further ado, let's dive in. There are very few speakers available today that a true 70 watt of Class AB grunt per channel won't power and power well. There's a ton of authoritative grunt on tap here from Audiolab thanks to its maximum current delivery of 9 amperes into difficult loads. But what does that even mean? Well, some speakers have lower impedance or complex impedance curves that can dip into very low values at certain frequencies or within certain musical passages. Basically, certain speakers during certain musical passages will place greater strain on an amplifier. Now, these loads require more current from the amplifier to produce sound without distortion, so amplifiers that can deliver that current, like the 7000A, can more effectively handle more challenging demands. In addition to its ability to manage difficult loads is the 7000A's complementary feedback topology, ensuring superior linearity and excellent thermal stability. Now, when we're talking about linearity, linear meaning a straight line, we're talking about an amplifier design with the most direct signal path to ensure that the amplifier accurately amplifies the audio signal without adding unwanted harmonics or other distortions. It's an art form to produce and produce well, and its effects are a more faithful reproduction with minimal distortion. As for thermal stability, when the idle current is independent of the temperature of the output transistors, the amplifier maintains consistent performance regardless of temperature. And that means that you get a more reliable, stable amplifier, particularly during prolonged use at high volume. So, in the end, this combination produces an incredibly stable, faithful reproduction, free from nasty distortions that you can play all day long. No doubt why the reviews are so damn good. Those familiar with Audiolab's award-winning 6000 series will be familiar with the much lauded talents of 6000A, most especially its pre-power and integrated modes. And it's a pretty remarkable feature, this capacity to transform any integrated into a pre or power amplifier down the line. So much so, it was both noted and welcomed by every single 6000A reviewer, however surprised they were by the inclusion of it at the 6000's price. And it's this surprise by most of the reviewers that posits a rather glaringly obvious question, at least to me. How many 6000A owners would ever require their amp to be anything other than a quality integrated amplifier? Well, such a question bears much less relevance when it comes to 7000A, because when you climb to this price bracket, when you're purchasing into this level of sound and build quality, you are far more likely to be an all-in audiophile-esque type of listener. The kind of listener that's highly intrigued, if not outright determined, to increase their amplification power through separates sometime in the future, tumbling further and further and further down hi-fi's sound quality rabbit hole.
Curiouser and curiouser.
Now, there is no series-specific power amplifier or monoblock available for the 7000A. In fact, Audiolab no longer make power amps and mono blocks. The last of those components were available within the 8300 series. However, the rumor has it that 9000 series power amp called 9000P is coming soon, at least according to the Audiolab website. So for those interested in purchasing the 7000A with an eye on the future, a future that is founded in pre and power separates, and are inclined to have all their major electronic components remain within the Audiolab family, there will be options available in the near future. And considering that both the 9000 and the 7000 series share almost the exact same physical footprint in terms of width and depth, it could be a tasty option. Nonetheless, a feature like 7000A's pre-power and integrated modes gives a serious listener a wealth of upgrade pathways to choose from, making 7000 series a true entrant into the world of audiophile signature sound quality and separates. The inclusion of HDMI ARC into the Audiolab ecosystem is a much welcome feature, and you won't find it on any other series model, including the much pricier 9000A. Now, there is some argument for that, the suggestion that 9000A is a music first, maybe music exclusive audiophile amplifier, and HDMI ARC is an unnecessary input inclusion for such a specific tool. However, here's where I think that argument falls apart just a little, and why HDMI ARC is such a welcome inclusion for the 7000A. Modern televisions more closely resemble PCs than they do the old TV. So with access to an ever-increasing number of streaming apps to either binge your favorite series or listen to your favorite albums, HDMI ARC has the ability to transform this stunning integrated amplifier into a complete entertainment system. Again, I'm going to reference a Darko audio clip, which I will link above and in the description below, but his experimentation with using smart TVs as network streamers showed that you can achieve high quality audio results. Now, is it a high res? No. Is it bit perfect? No, it's not that either, but it is just north of CD quality, at least with Darko's specific model of Smart TV, where it upsampled everything to 48 kilohertz. And when you include the fact that with HDMI ARC, you can use the TV remote to change the volume on your amplifier, or vice versa, this clever little input is not only convenient, it's highly attractive to a multitude of potential listeners. Now, are there better ways to stream your music? Yes. And could you do the same thing anyway with an optical input? Absolutely. And theoretically, you could do it with better results. HDMI for digital audio streams is apparently high in jitter, though if you watched that Darko video I referenced just earlier, you'll hear John say, and his ears are far more experienced than my own, that he couldn't hear that jitter, nor could he pick up a difference audibly between smart TV streaming and specific network streamers. So Audio Return Channel's talent for that one remote volume change is a super convenient feature that'll get many folk over the line. And when you're ready to dive into a more detailed, more high-resolution streaming experience, well, you can pair this clever amp with the 7000N. Hit that subscribe button to ensure you don't miss out on next week's feature-packed and perhaps somewhat controversial episode on the Audiolab 7000N. We all know how Playfire rocks the boat. Drop a comment on your thoughts regarding the all-new 7000A integrated amplifier. We love a little conversation around the water cooler. And of course, if you'd like further details on the Audiolab 7000A or any of the products you see in our videos, simply head on over to avrevolution.com.au.